Hello and welcome, or welcome back. I'm Nicole, a cottage witch, and I know I've been a bit delinquent lately. I haven't recorded anything for a while, so I'm gonna see if I can remember how to do this. I've had the concentration of a gnat lately. I've just been flitting from one project to another, not finishing very much, including books, which is very unusual for me. And so I haven't had the concentration to actually sit down for any length of time and record something. I did go for a walk the other day and found a lovely, look at this stick. It's so cool. It's from a poplar tree. And I love it. It's beautiful. I might have to draw it sometime. Anyway, okay, so in the world of tarot, I've been not terribly active, but I've used this Dionysios, the 9th edition, as I've been doing for the last, I don't know, month or two, 2 months? Probably 2 months. I have no conception of time anymore. Time is a mystery. But I have my little seedlings. If I remember, I'll put a photo in. So I was cleaning up my balcony. My pigeons, well, they're not my pigeons. They're pigeons that have made a home on my balcony are making a mess of it again. And it's too cold to put the seedlings out yet. Because, you know, snow. But I do have little seedlings. And they're growing pretty well. I transplanted some of them into bigger containers, and sometimes they don't like getting transplanted, but they do like worm castings. I have found that is the most effective way I've ever transplanted anything, was by digging a little hole and putting worm castings in the bottom, and then they like it. Then they're like, okay, I can deal with this new home if it has worm castings in it. So that's lovely. Cheerful discussion about worm poop. The other deck I've been using is Le Tarot Arthurian. I'm not, despite the fact I'm learning French, every time I go to pronounce a French word, especially while I'm recording, if it has R's in it, I screw it up. So anyway, this is this one. It's an Arthurian's art, which I love. And I was using this as an aspirational deck because I was like, oh, I'll get it out because I've been practicing my French a lot lately. Well, not this week, but I've been doing some italki classes with a French teacher just to practice speaking in French, which I'm not very good at yet. And also, this is a very summery looking deck. Like, look at that. That's very June, July. Beautiful. Very July. Yep. And it is very brown outside. There are hints of buds on the trees. And there are a couple early flowers that have started to poke their heads out of the ground, but not a heck of a lot. So this is my dreaming of summer, colorful. Like, look at that. This is what I would like at the moment and don't have. But so anyway, this is my aspirational deck of the week. I love her artwork so much. So that was to cheer me up because it is spring elsewhere, and I see people posting all their lovely spring pictures of green things online, and it's just not spring here yet. So that's, I guess, one of the downsides to living in Canada. There are many upsides. That's one of the few downsides. Oh, and excuse my fingernails today. I was okay, tangent. I have these Neocolor 2 Fancy Pens crayons for grown-ups. And I was taking all the wrappers off, and I got a bunch under my nails, and I can't get it all out. But anyway, I made myself a little tin, put some white gesso on it. And so now I can take out more colors. And so, yes, I broke them all in half, which I know some people wouldn't like, but you know, you have to use your art supplies. Otherwise, what are you doing with them? So that's that. I have a stack of books here. Okay. As always, I know the author's a jerk, and I'm not crazy about her, but I had these books already. Okay, so I'm reading. I finished The Chamber of Secrets. And then this is a library book because I don't have the Spanish. I have a couple of books in Spanish, but not all of them, because secondhand bookstores are awesome, but also you don't always get the complete set. So I couldn't read and listen in Arabic at the same time because unlike the first book, the second and third books don't seem to use the exact same translations. So that's annoying because I was hoping to be able to listen and read at the same time. Can do that with Spanish. That was fun. The other thing I did let's throw my books on the ground here, is I finished, so Ollie Richards has these books of short stories. I have the English ones despite being a native English speaker because I read this while listening to it in Arabic, sort of like having English subtitles on while watching a TV show. And that was helpful. And then I've got this, so I'll go through this again. So I've listened to the whole thing in Arabic, and I've read and listened to the first, I don't know, 6 chapters. They're like 8 stories. Some of them they have between 2 and 4 chapters each. So I've listened to the first 2 or 3, several times and gone back over those, and then got tired of those, so then I just sort of whizzed through the remaining ones to find out what was in there, and that was satisfying. And then I finished this one, so I read and listened to this at the same time. This is The Lover by Marguerite Duras. Or Duras? I don't know if you pronounce the S in this case. Anyway, it's a beautiful book. I love the way this book is printed. It's from the 80s, I think, and they just don't print books like this anymore. But it's weird. It's a little creepy because she's underage and he's not, but it's from her perspective. And it's based on her sort of real life events. So it's a bit unsettling in that regard. I don't think she meant it to be unsettling, but you know, reading it in 2026, it was. That's just how it is. But I kind of like how it was written. It was a good book to read as a learner of French because the sentences were nice and short and mostly to the point. So it was fairly straightforward to get through. So that was the books. There were a bunch of other books I've started and haven't finished yet, so I won't get into those yet because, oy. Okay, and then I can't remember why I have all of these things out. Why do I have all of these things out? Let's see. Oh yeah, I did some, oh yeah. Okay, so I joined Draw Brighton's Patreon. They are over in the UK, so the time zones are all, you know, wackadoodle, but you can watch the videos after the fact. They do, of course, have rules about how to treat the videos and images because they've got nude models, so, you know, you have to be responsible and respectful and all this, which people do have difficulty with on the internet. But there's just a random symbol I drew because I was bored one day, and then I put this in afterwards. Anyway, they have a different model every week and do a bunch of 1-minute poses, 3-minute poses, then a couple 10-minute ones, then one 30-minute one. So this was this person. Oops, I'll get this out of the way here. See, clearly I don't know how to record anymore because I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, this is, I think, my favorite one from this series. In particular, I did like her. Her hair was excellent. Then we're into the 10-minute. This was just contour drawing, or line drawings of trees. This was her again. I was having trouble with the foot, so I just did a little foot study. And then this was the 30-minute one, which I quite like. So that was all in pen. And then I got a different notebook. So this is just a mishmash sketchbook of just all sorts of stuff and nonsense. So then I thought it might be fun to try, and we'll see. There's a very good chance I won't stick with this because everything's a jumble these days. But I got a dedicated book for portraits and figures. So then I did another one. Well, I started doing another one, and then I got bored of it. Was all her stuff in the kitchen, baking and whatnot. And she's like, it's no criticism of the model. I just got bored of that session. So I stopped for the end. And then this person I really liked. She had personality, as they say. And these are the 3-minute ones. She had these pearl necklaces on and very red lips. This, I don't like her face there, which is nothing to do with her. She doesn't look like that. This is a better one. This is one of the 10-minute ones. That's one of the other 10-minute ones. This was one I messed up on and kept trying to redo. Anyway, it still looks funny. So then I did a quick 5-minute study to try and get the proportions because I couldn't get the relationship of her body to the couch the way I wanted it. So did a little study and then did it again for 25 minutes. And I quite like that one, actually. I like the lines of her legs. It's very, and her pearl necklace is a highlight. And then I did, so the guy who runs this group is called Jake Spicer, I think. And he did, he's got some like tutorial-y type. Why is it so dark in here? That's very dark. Anyway, sorry about that. He does some tutorials. Most of these are not, like these weren't tutorials, they were just life drawing sessions that you can join on Zoom Live or you can get after the fact. And then he had some sort of tutorial things where he shows you. So this was a negative space and positive space study, just filling in some of the contours and then the negative space. And then this was kind of a continuation of the same, focusing more on like blocks of positive and negative space. So that was interesting. This was one of the portrait replays that I watched just to see if I'd like it. And then this was another model I finished. She was this week's model. And I didn't wake up early enough because I think it starts at 6 a.m. my time. So I didn't do it live, but did after the fact, and I quite liked her. She's got some lovely lines to draw. That was, I think, one of my favorite ones. And then this one. So this was the 30-minute one, which I stopped at 25 because I got tired of it. Not like tired of her or anything, just I was like, I'm done now. I'm just gonna keep faffing but I keep going. So I didn't do that. What do I have in here? Anything interesting? Oh, yeah, I did. So I got my dad was here for, oh yeah, I went to a PWHL game, which was super fun. That's the Professional Women's Hockey League. Anyway, while he was here, we watched an Oilers game one evening just on TV. And so I have one of these little tomato pin cushions. So I drew that in different media just to see what it could do. Obviously these two are funny shapes, but I kind of like how the colors blended together with the Neocolor twos. That was fun. More just testing out. I had got some these Pigma graphic pens, which are, do I have any here? Let's see. Here's one. So I have the regular fine liners, which are like so, in different sizes. That's a very thin one. But then these Pigma graphic ones are actually for like manga and comic books. So this one's just a regular round tip marker, but then there are a couple others that are flat, the 2 and the 3, which are super fun. So I was puttering away with that. That's another miscellaneous sketchbook. And then I had some of these little outdoor walking around sketchbooks. This I had in my office. So obviously I was preoccupied with the Artemis II moon mission this week because it was the only positive thing in the news. What else? These are all old ones. I did some doodles of dog because I'm clearly not very good at drawing dogs yet, but that's why the studies. So that was from my office window because there's a dog park outside and it's excellent. Big fan of that. What else did I do? Oh yeah, these were more of those trying out this. This is the number 3. There's another terrible dog. That chunkier pen that I was just mentioning. With some trees in the park. There's some ducks, an upside down tree, because I'm not very organized with these little sketchbooks. There's another tree. Oh, there's a blue spruce. I was trying for a contour drawing of a blue spruce. I quite like that one. And then these little ones here with that same Pigma graphic, I think it's called. Yeah, graphic. It was the number 3. That was fun. So I did a bit of doodling out and about. And that's that. And then I decided it was time to graduate from these little concertina books, which I just made out of cardstock, because you can like tuck them away in your pocket and hide them if you're self-conscious about drawing outside. And so I decided to get an actual little sketchbook. This is a Royal Talents one. So I did some doodling on my lunch break one day. Some mallards were taking a bath. This guy's head is funny because I got it the wrong shape, and then I kept trying to get it the right shape, but then it was too big for his body, so that's fun. Here's some Saskatoon buds that are actually like hints of spring, a suggestion of spring, squirrels collecting leaf litter. I assume that's a sign that spring is coming because the crows were doing that too, collecting leaf litter for their nests. So here's hoping. More mallards. These actually stayed still long enough for me to do slightly more detailed than usual drawings. These folks didn't, obviously. But somebody had left birdseed by a picnic table, so they were just chilling there. There are the crows collecting the leaf litter for their nests. A dog was playing in the park. I'm getting slightly less abysmal at dogs, but not good at them yet. There was an elder poplar tree, like by elder I mean not an elder tree, but like an elderly poplar tree that I'm surprised is still alive, because this part looks dead and this part looks dead and this part is missing its bark altogether in large excuse me, in large patches. But there's a twig that's growing off of it that's just full of buds, so it's still going. This is a new poplar tree, a tiny little wild rose sprout. Just some doodling, more doodling. There's some, this was a Neocolor too, I think. Oh yeah, and the cormorant is the animal of the month for Tegan's Animal Gnosis Patreon. So I did. Apparently they do come through Calgary. They don't live in Calgary. They live in the lakes further north. But they fly through when they're migrating, which apparently is soon. So I'm gonna have to keep an eye out for them because I don't think I've ever seen one in real life. And then I got tired of juggling pens, and sometimes I don't want to take out a whole pencil case, so I made this little pocket thing with an elastic band just out of a couple pieces of felt, sewed them together. I'm not, you know, a good sewist, so I was happy that it actually worked. Put my little pen in there, and then I can just stick these two things in my pocket, have a pencil or some pens and the water brush and my Neocolors, and that's all I need, and it's lovely. And then, oh yeah, if I remember, I'll put in a photo of I have a little old lady cart to go shopping with because I don't have a car. And I decorated that because it needed mending. So I mended it and then decorated it. And then I got this out and did some more work on this. So the idea behind this was a slow stitching project that I'm gonna fold in half and make like a needle case out of for traveling or whatever. And it's just been collecting dust for a while. So I made some more progress on this, which was lovely. This will be the inside, this bit of felt. And yeah, I don't know, I've just been in the mood for some slow stitching lately. So I was working on those couple projects. And then the last couple things I did were, so this was just a acrylic ink drawing right from the dropper of some trees at, where did I see these trees? Fish Creek. Those were at Fish Creek. This was a contour drawing of a woman in, I have was it the National Geographic book? I have a couple books of just portraits of people by different photographers, and this was one of those women. It doesn't actually look like her, but I quite like it. I like the textures you can get just with the ink. This was another one. Same person, so you can tell I'm not good at likenesses with just contour line drawings. I mean, I don't think that's the point of a contour line drawing, so that's fine. This was an experiment with, what is this, Inktense? I think this is Inktense. No, this might be Neocolor 2, and this is Inktense? I think this is Inktense. And then this might be Neocolor 2 again, I think. Looks like it. Anyway, so I had some fun experimenting with that, and I made this, can you even see that? I didn't even, for goodness sake. See, I'm out of practice with the whole YouTube thing. Anyway, this, yeah, you can sort of see, you can't see her whole picture in one. Anyway, and then I did this out of Neocolor 2 crayons as well. They're those water soluble ones, so you can sort of paint in with water and blur the lines and blend them. And this was, it just started as a scribbly self-portrait, and I put my eyes too high. They should really be like down here instead of up there. So my forehead looks much shorter than it is, my nose looks much longer than it is, but other than that, I quite like it. I think I've made a lot of progress with self-portraits lately, so that is very fun for me. And hopefully not too boring for you. So anyway, that's my, I don't know, last 5 or 6 weeks. I've so lost track of time. And I have no idea when I'll do one of these again, but that's what I've been up to lately. So yeah, that's all for me for now, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.